What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back in the action tonight. Shine Runners Racing Radio in the house with my main man, Sasquatch. What's up, brother?
Been a while, buddy.
It hasn't feel like 6 months since we've been sitting here. You've had a birthday since then. All kinds of stuff's happened.
Yeah, I found my first gray hair the other day. That was disappointing.
Oh,
I ain't
look
even
at
30.
me, dude.
I ain't even 30 yet, dude. I'm like, damn, we got to get rid of that.
I'm all kind of hair club for men over here.
We got a pretty good show tonight.
Yeah, dude, we do got a good show, man. Last show was fun. We had Hurricane Hank in the house. Got to talk to him a little bit and talk to Bill Dovier about Rockfish Speedway and the things that are going on out there. And we ended up going to practice the other day at Rockfish. And, man, what a great feeling it was to roll through the gate of that joint.
What in the hell was going on out there? I watched videos, and there was a full-size sprint car running. There was cars running.
It was practice.
I get it.
It was practice. And so it has been let out that they are going to try to run a front-wheel drive class out there. And it's mixed emotions all over the playing field. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's going to be awesome. You know what I mean? I'm really not a big front-wheel drive fan, but I think it's going to be a hell of a demolition derby. You know, we'll see what happens.
So is it a one or two race deal, or is it a?
I don't know, man. I honestly, I don't know. Trying to focus a little bit on keeping Wyatt fast, and so I'm not really sure as far as exactly what's going on. I do know that the 305 that was out there, that's Brianna Lawson.
Yep.
She's going to be moving up and running a little bit of that this year. And she ain't about 13-year-old.
Yeah, that's good though.
I mean, she's 12, 13 years old.
It was pretty cool to see it. I mean, I seen a little video of it. I was hoping somebody took a video.
Yeah.
I'd heard she was taking it out there. But it's pretty cool to see it go around there. Of course, she probably couldn't get up much speed, but
she's always done an awesome job, man.
Yeah.
And did you make it to California? I seen the other day. You've been one day you're in Las Vegas, next day you're at the Vietnamese place. You been with AJ's?
No, we ain't been. We went with AJ at the Vietnamese place. No, but I had thought about it. It was really tempting to go out there again. Yeah, it was a good time. But
you had visited whenever they did that bush race out there.
Yeah, me and my brother went to LA. That was pretty cool. So I wanted to go back. I like it out there. There's a bunch of weirdos out there, but it's all right.
Yeah, well, a bunch of weirdos here, man. You sitting beside me. The
same could be said for me, I'm sure.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're powered by AJ Bellinger Motorsports, which is now Ming Xing, or what did he call it?
Ming Wu.
Ming Wu. He's actually now a Vietnamese comedian, he's making steps in life with all that.
He might be on Comedy Central one day.
We've got an awesome show tonight, man. We've got the Blackwell brothers in the house. This is great. I'm looking across them. Seeing these guys as we're fixing to tune in with them here shortly, and my childhood of racing, me and Chris grew up racing go-karts and slot cars and everything else, and then seeing Timmy out there wheeling that Joe Cox machine, and I'm sure that brings back some memories. But before we get into that, man, y'all got some big things coming up. March 19th is the big first run.
Yes.
The Deuces Wild. Is it a tour or a showgram or whatever you call it?
Whatever you want to call it. That first race is going to be something.
That's Halifax.
Halifax, the Mark Batt Memorial. 10,000 to win. Expecting a pretty good crowd of cars up there, man. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome.
Got the Punisher Series. We had them guys in here a couple weeks ago, and they're tuning up. It's going to be a big deal. Big one-day show for late models, modifieds, and super streets and stuff like that. I think they're running something on Friday and having a practice Tuesday. Nothing Wednesday. I don't really know what the Gap's going to do there, but you got something Tuesday night. Practice, and then nothing Wednesday, and then a practice Thursday, and then they're running model lights, and I think legend cars or something Friday night with the street stocks, and then our show Saturday.
I seen Ryan Toole and those guys on there talking about the open wheels. Are they going to allow those modifieds to come up there at Donovan Jackson to wax that tail again?
They can give it a shot, man. I mean, I say bring it up there. Halifax is, it's a different
I saw where
beat.
Dustin Watkins was asking, were they invited to come up?
Absolutely.
If you want to come up, bring it up.
As well. It's a good paying show. I think it's $250 to start that deal for them. I think it'll be, it's not like a big crown jewel race or nothing, but I think it's pretty good, for a first of the year race or whatever. To go up there and try it out. And Halifax it's a different beast. I think it's tight, real tight, and it's just. I like that place. It's like going watching races up there, but some don't like it, some do like it, but whatever.
Yeah. It's going to be a great show, and you guys got a lot. I got to send a big shout-out to Alan Core, man. I saw Alan and Old Man Bandit Ricky doing tell us a little bit about that, what you guys are doing with the wings, powder coating those wings pink.
So it's the Wings of Hope. It's kind of like a memorial for Dina or whatever. You know, she was a big part of our bandit deal, and I'm putting on that deal. It's $100 for whoever carries them every race after the first race. So Sumter, whoever has the pink spoilers, will get $100 just for showing up with the pink spoilers, and just to kind of, you know, it's stand out a points leader, and you know, everywhere he goes, he'll carry the pink spoiler sides and stuff like that. So hopefully, you know, we get somebody that'll represent it well.
That's good stuff, man. And Alan always doing, every time you go over there, Alan's doing something for somebody.
And I'm glad he got to do them, and they look awesome. And they were sitting there in Jim's kitchen the other day, and we were over there, and I was like, man, them things are going to look good. It probably won't look good on some of the wraps, but it'll stand out.
Yeah, definitely. Bright. That's the brightest pink. So if anybody, I'm gonna give Alan a shameless plug out there.
Yep.
If anybody needs any powder coating done, he's now got his powder coating machine. He was doing sail panels the other day for Daniel Adam, and I think he did a sail panel for Ricky Chavis, and he had all kinds of stuff going on.
All kind of colors: pink, green, orange.
Yeah.
You know, he can do whatever. You know, I think he can do wheels for cars, or just talk him into it. He ain't hard to pull the leg and get something to do something. Hey, Alan, I want something powder coated or welded up. Dude, he's a phenomenal welder, fabricator. I mean, you go over there and give him an idea, and he can kind of sit there and spin it off and hook it up.
We actually got a chance. We went over there last Sunday and watched Rhett start and finish racing in like 4 seconds in his yard.
I seen that.
Wonderful.
Looked like you were tying up hogs or something.
Oh, son, I'll tell you what, I got back to my rodeo days. I wish I had my spurs
on. Watch
on.
them legs, cuz.
Yeah. And then we were able to dump Wyatt off in their Mod Light, and that was pretty cool. To, you know, what's awesome to me is seeing generations of racing working together, and that's like tonight. You know, we've got Chris and Timmy in here, the Blackwell brothers, and we're going to talk a little bit about the generation of racing and how, you know, things come together with, you know, Bladen teaching Wyatt, and you know, as you know, we look across and I'll tell you, and I've told Chris 100 times, I've said it to Timmy, I love to look across there and see their youngins in race cars, man. I tell you, they're doing big things.
It's definitely pretty cool to see them starting up, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and to see the brotherhood come together and the family, you know, staying in racing and all that stuff. But if you want to throw it around, man, we'll get.
Let's see. We got to lose it. Oh, look at there!
Whoa! Straight up damn Hall of Famers in this place tonight.
Cameras ain't broke.
Huh. No, we're working. That was too easy right there.
If there has been blue and orange at a racetrack, it's been these guys right here, man. I tell you what, glad to have y'all in the house tonight. Yeah, man, it's awesome. And I made the comment, you know, which all of us have pretty much, but we've been around racing since the concession stand had them Coca-Cola cups.
Yeah.
And I remember you, Timmy, being in that Joe Cox Camaro. Was that the car you started out in, pure stock?
Yeah, actually Al Horn made a deal. He wiped his car out one weekend. He said, if you get it fixed, you can practice it. So that's how that got started. And my uncle and them helped me with a Camaro, and it was on from there.
That's good stuff. So you just got put into racing, or did you grow up around racing, or how'd that work?
Well, most people know our family. You know, my uncles were raced forever and got bored forever. The Odoms, and our dad hung around with Carolina Body Shop, you know, Ellis Ward and all them guys.
Yeah.
So I've been in it, man, back where the graveyard's at now, you know.
Yeah.
And Chris picks at me because I can remember so far back, you know. I pick at Mike Parker. I used to hate him, you know, he won every daggone week.
Yeah.
But he's my buddy. But, I mean, I remember a lot, you know. It's been a fun ride, and it's what we love to do.
Yeah, so you actually seen the days where they had 3 cars but had to bring them all in on one trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, until to what it has become nowadays, how much different is racing from back in then, you know, when you actually had to build a car, and now all you do is buy cars. So you don't really build anything anymore. I mean, they had to, and I'm just going to throw this up. I don't mean to bring up old stuff, but, you know, where Shabram had that the piece that wasn't right on the front of his car. Right. He made that, and he made it work. Yeah. Back in the day, you made something work.
Yep.
And you did the petty deal where you figured something out where somebody else didn't figure out, and you got fast. And they had to figure out to catch up, but now that's illegal. You know what I'm saying? So where has racing gone as far as that aspect?
Well, back then, when I got started, I like to tell people I've never moved up. We started in a Camaro, and I think the racetrack and the racers has caused us to move up. Back then my dream wouldn't have been late model because I knew we couldn't afford it. And every year the track would add a part, or this guy needed to outrun you, so he wanted that part.
Yeah.
Eventually it went from stock Camaros to tube chassis to where it's at now. But like you said, where it's killed me, we're so busy with our business, the technology has passed me. I still feel like I can get it done behind the seat, but it's the hours you got to spend on the machines and on the phone. And like we were joking earlier before it started, it's all I can do to turn the computer on, let alone, trying to smash springs and all this. Yeah. So that's where I pick on him and Zach.
Yeah.
It's their job. You just put it on there and let me try it. I mean.
Yeah. Now, is driving that car different? Is now you look up there and the whole rear's tucking up underneath the car and everything else. We were just talking about Mike Parker, and Mike was winning everything. And then, nowadays, I'm not saying Mike struggles because Mike is a very, very talented driver. But Mike struggles a little bit compared to the new gen, so to say.
There's different times for all of us.
Yeah, and I think, like with y'all's kids and with Zach, and it's different. The more they can stay in that seat, obviously the better they're going to be. You take us, okay, Chris ain't raced since, Thanksgiving of last year.
November.
Our next race is going to be a dry dean race. It takes half the practice session to get comfortable for me. And then you jump out there in a 50, 100 lap race. Well, we're behind, and it's our fault. It's nobody else's. And that hurts us because the whole family is wanting to drive,
Yeah.
And it's just impossible for us, and it shows on the racetrack a lot. Yeah.
Well, I was talking about the kids, too. We've all got kids in racing, and now you go out there and rent the track, and they got practice days and practice weeknights and all that. Used to, practice was on Saturday.
Yeah, you got some hot laps, that's about it.
You got 2 hot laps, and you went racing, so that's – the kids got a big advantage.
Yeah. How cool is that to see your kids racing? I every time I see you guys at Rockfish, I talk about Clay, and then to see Chase in that car the other night at Fayetteville, that was awesome, dude. That was nothing shy of just straight damn awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And then, Zach, seeing Zach in the car, so do y'all do anything else except for race? Do you eat, sleep, drink, anything other than racing?
Can't afford to do anything else. A lot of people pick on us. We've all got cars, and but that's what we do. That hauler, that's our beach house. We don't care about going to the beach very much. And it's what we do. It's the reason. We want to take care of our families, but
that truck's for our families. And you have to stay outside and.
Yeah, it makes it easy on them.
Make y'all pitch a tent outside.
But it's good to see the kids. I always picked at Timmy. I said, when Zach come up, we really hurt Zach because we were kind of still in our decent years, and Zach kind of we just stuck him out there, really. And I always picked on Timmy. I said, why don't you quit? Just concentrate on Zach. And now I said, well, my boy started, I'm quitting, but I see where he's at now. I want to get one more if I could just. Yeah. Before I quit, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you making money with Clay out there. I'm going to tell you what, he come out the gate, picked him, 2, 3 last year?
Yeah, 2 wins.
Made some money last year. It's like $35 to get in the gate. You walk home with 80, like, damn, we got gas to get home.
Yeah.
That's what you just said there. That's kind of been where it's hurt Mike, Zach, everybody knows he's mine, and it's going to hurt Chase and Clay. I love both my nephews to death, and like you said, you want them to do the best.
Yeah.
And I won't never forget it because we're going to Rockfish. I told my mom because he's never raced nothing, and my mom's like, you think he's ready? I said, heck no, he ain't ready, because we took him to Fayetteville, twice, and it would break twice.
It would never run right.
Yeah.
And second or third week he won over there.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
come out the gate. I'm talking about riding, bro. Riding.
I said, he might be the driver, but
yeah.
But it's going to hurt him when we start racing.
Yeah.
But what do you we're all selfish. If Chris would quit and let me finish out my years.
Daggone it, Chris.
Oh, so he's got to go on the back burner again so you can finish out your careers.
But you see, when we've had some decent runs with y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Long as he's helping me.
Was
he
he helping?
He won't listen to me. That's why he sucked.
Was he helping you that night you went off the back straight away at Sumter?
No, I won't help him. That won't have nothing to do with me.
We were like, what the hell happened to Timmy?
I told Willie and him I dropped my lighter. I was trying to light a cigarette. Going
You're like, what? He was like, I went off the back straight away because he got gone, dude.
I was sitting there. I said, man, we're running about 6th or 7th, something like that. I'm like, man, the car. I think we had just rebuilt the car, put the body on it or something. And I was like, man, we got a good finish, nothing tore up. And I look up, whoo, oh man.
I run over Ricky on the back.
Still sure did. Yeah, because we sent him over there. We sent him over there to go find him. And I radioed back, and I said, hey, Ricky, he's on this side of the racetrack. All right, what do you buzz around the racetrack, whatever. I said, hurry up, I'm going green.
Yeah.
Now, we had Hank in here last show we did, and Hank was talking about him and Porky. And, of course, Curtis and the whole crowd. But he said, I hated to see Porky win, and Porky hated to see me win. Now, how's that stand with y'all? I'm going to tell you what, y'all are tight brothers. And I tell my kids, I'm like, I hope my kids grow up to be brothers like you two are. You know what I'm saying? And it shows. I mean, it showed not only through racing, but through life. You guys are there all the time for each other. Is it like that? Do you see Timmy winning like, damn, or vice versa?
No, we even raced against each other. Timmy's 10 years older than I am, and you can tell. But
damn,
Timmy,
yikes.
Timmy was.
That's why it looks so rough.
Timmy was. Sometimes I think people say, man, we're kind of weird or something. I mean, we work together, we race together. I mean, we live half a mile apart. Mom lives right there. Zach lives right there, and we stick together. And I mean, Timmy always took me to the racetrack and to the race shop out there at our uncle's, and I'm there cheering him on and trying to help him win, and everybody grows up different, I guess, but I couldn't. I guess it is kind of unique, but no, I just assume him win is myself.
Yeah, I love to watch my brother or nephews or Zach, whatever. As long as it's one of us, a friend, you're still competitive.
Yeah.
It's not, I've never been that way with them. Even we raced against each other,
Yeah.
And we battled each other, but it's never been where we're going to take the other out.
Yeah.
None of that mess. But,
well, there was many a times like some of the national tours or even a regional deal would come in, dude, and they were like, okay, the 6 and the 17 is going to be in a mix somewhere. I mean, matter of fact, the first time Lucas came there, and I think you guys, one of you was qualified like 6th, and the other one was like 8th or something like that. And I'm like, these boys just had it, son.
That's kind of what's disappointing. I mean, it's not an ego thing to me, but we have ran good.
Yeah.
My mom's all about making stuff. I'd rather have something she made for us for Christmas.
Yeah.
And those races, I got a World Outlaws where both of us made the show, and heck, he had got up to like 4th, and a lifter broke, and she's made us the checks, the flyers. It was a pretty neat deal, and the rundown. And I would tell, I passed Ricky Weeks and Ferguson out there one night, and it was a daggone rough, and for the lead in the clash.
Yeah.
Next restart, I go off in there and break an axle.
Mm-hmm.
I kept that axle forever because I'm like,
Well,
they were on their game.
Well, we all have our, if you look through it, and it's on all the sports, we all have our prime,
I'm
racing.
still in my prime.
Well,
Timmy said, I don't know what you're talking about, but
well, racing, you can, that prime is a little bit longer. You still got older guys that can still get it done. But I remember being that 15-year-old out there, and then the guy coming up, and you're looking at these old guys like, I want to outrun him tonight, and they're like, who's this kid, and it don't stop.
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be that way, and sometimes the experience takes over and wins, but sometimes that youth is there too,
Yeah.
So
I think that kind of hurts a little bit nowadays. You don't get as many races like here. You don't get the regional races or the local races leading up to the national shows or the regional shows, so you don't get those extra laps or them guys coming in here. I remember like the Super Sevens when they run out of here,
Yep.
Ricky and Jeff and you guys would come and run, and you'd have those guys the week before the clash would come in, and it would just help you guys. And the following week, you one or two or the other, somebody, Scott, Jeffrey, whoever it was, would be on the pole right there in the mix. Now they roll in here and they're coming off this race, and our guys hadn't raced in a while, so just I think that kind of hurts.
Well, a good example, it's like when we did the cash money. Everybody was surprised, Jim and I never made a lap at Gaffney. As long as I've been going, I've never turned a lap.
Yeah.
And there was an open test at Charlotte Thursday night. So we go over there and I got in the car and made laps, And when we went to Gaffney, we made some laps Friday night, and I think we qualified 4th or 5th for the cash money.
It was up there.
Something, yeah.
And had a good run. It was just, as long as I've raced, I was putting in my head to keep the tire on it, and I rode too much. We didn't have nothing for Dalton, but I felt like we cheated ourselves out of a top 5, but it helped. Just being in the car, the night before we showed up.
Now, how do you prepare for that? So you're going to a different track. When you get there, you find out track condition. All right, this clay's different. This is different. What do you do to prepare for the race?
Really, me personally, Chris had run there, and I talked to him, and he's run there quite a bit, and he's had some good runs. I'll go in there if it's kind of tacky. We're going to see if it's going to stick, is all I know. I mean, I like a slick racetrack. I'm not good on it. Really like a hammer-down track, but it's hard to race on them tracks to me.
So 311 is right up your alley.
Yeah, we run good at 311.
I hate that place.
Yeah.
Well, that's what hurts us, growing up at Fayetteville. We ran Fayetteville and Lakeview. That was our deal. You knew on Saturday night you were going to be at Fayetteville, and then when Lakeview was doing the Fridays and Saturdays, you knew what you were going to do. But the guys that are coming up these days, and a lot of, like, you take, like, the Clash guys, they hated coming to Fayetteville, because they didn't race here. But they knew Lancaster and Gaffney and all that. And then when we went out there, because, heck, we couldn't afford to travel.
Yeah.
And, back when we were starting. And so when you get out there to those tracks, you never don't know what to do. And so that's another advantage these younger guys got. You're able to go out and travel more and go to different tracks, so it just makes you that much better. So we still struggle with it.
If you look up here on the screen, Zach has chimed in and he said, they do what I tell them to do, but y'all don't listen. Yeah. So we just
probably the opposite. Yeah, it's probably the opposite.
Now y'all started Zach out. It was like a hobby class or a junior class. I remember he had a Camaro, right?
That was the first year, the Young Guns.
The Young Guns. There you go. That's what it was. Whatever happened to all that?
I don't know. They all grew up, I guess.
Here's the problem.
We got a lot coming up, though. A lot for kids to move up to.
Okay, you said it before the show. Here's the problem, and it's to me as a dad. This is the thing I love about racing. Okay, any one of us, we might get ill with each other at racetrack, but if you need us, we're there.
Right.
We won't outrun you, you won't outrun us. That's just a competitive side. And that's why I like our family, to be in it, because that's where I'm comfortable at, around all you guys, not hanging out at the mall. But we don't have a good starter class, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody says, well, you got 602 late model. That's not a good starter class to me.
No.
I mean, that's an expensive car.
Well, there's no starter. Yeah, there's nothing easy to start in.
When Larry and them started that deal, we went to them, and Ricky Carter was alive.
Yep.
And we told them, man, let's do a stock 4-cylinder. No, they want to do V8s. Track did. I said, okay, so we borrowed a Ford Fairmont from Jimmy Ray.
Yeah.
I love that man.
We brought that thing to the house.
That's my buddy.
I think they had ran it in Enduro or something.
Some military guys had it, and Christy drove it at Lakeview.
Yeah. Christy Ray drove it.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like you said with the little boy, didn't know Zach would like it.
Probably 12 or something, probably.
He was 12. And same thing, he'd try to run a go-kart once every 6 months. So anyway, they did that. Everybody picked on us. Oh, y'all got these, and you got Zach into that. We knew it was about out of transmission fluid when it started smoke. The smoke would quit. So when we seen it would stay, the class was going to stay, we went and found they were deer hunting. We found an $80 Camaro. and Flock put us a cage in it, and we did the rest. And Wilson's growed up, moved on.
Yep.
Zach's moved
All them
up.
boys, yeah.
I don't know where.
And they couldn't go but what 35, 45 or something like that.
40.
They had a lap time, like a
Yeah.
20-second lap. You couldn't be faster than a 20-second lap.
So
or
it's just
something
like
that.
y'all's did with RPMs. It was similar
Yeah.
to that, but you couldn't go but a certain
Yeah.
lap or you were DQ'd or
Yeah.
whatever.
I love the idea because, and I'm gonna tell you, when Bill and them opened this class up for junior micros, I've seen a lot of growth in that. I've seen a lot of, and not just tooting on my son's horn, but I've watched him grow in the sport as far as knowledgeable about how to pass and stuff like that. And it really makes a difference to have these junior drivers because who's going to move up? You know, and I'm a big advocate of get behind the kids.
Yeah.
You know, I love seeing these youngins out there. I love seeing the families together, and I'm kind of like you, Timmy. I just as soon I get just as happy to see some other youngin win as I do to see my youngin win. Now, don't get me wrong. We work hard to try to get in that victory lane, and we've done a good job at it. But I love to see them. I loved Clay's when they called his name that night. He won the first time. He went up there and got that medal. That's priceless.
Yeah.
You can't put a dime. I mean, you can't put $1 million on that smile that youngin had that night. And to see these kids grow up, and who's going to be the next Chris Blackwell? Who's going to be the next Timmy Black? You got to have these younger classes to grow up. I would love to see them bring it back because I'd throw my son in a car in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, it's like Chase. Chase ain't ready for a late model. He's done good for what he's for the time he's been out there. But
he looked faster than Zach the other night.
yeah, and
I believe it.
But I said, well, I think I told you. I said we built that late model in 2 weeks. We bought the car and we had a bunch of stuff there, so it was easy. I said it took 6 months to build that junior sprint. I don't know nothing about micro sprints and anything like that, but there really is no easy way to get them into something. So it's
no, because
hard.
even the front wheel drives has got out of hand a little bit.
Yes, Lord.
Like
those guys
them
scare
guys-
me.
Money takes over everything.
That's the sad.
I mean, them guys are just
Well, you really
way out
you get Ricky Chavis. I was talking to him the other day, and he made a comment that was funny to me because I've said it a couple times. We just gonna get in it to go out there and have some fun until you get in it.
Yeah.
Till you get outran one time, and then you in it. We did that with mud bogging. The only reason I bought that mud bogging truck was because my dad was sitting there in that chair, and that's where he was gonna finish at. I went and bought that mud bogging truck. I brought that thing home. He said, "The hell we gonna do with that?" I said, "We're gonna get back out there in that shop. We're going to go out there and have fun." Well, that go out there and have fun ended up with a $10,000 four-cylinder motor and $800 worth of tires and everything else because we got our butts handed to us the first time.
Yeah.
We're like, that ain't going to happen again.
That's it. Yeah.
So money does take a big part of it. But the whole, and going back to you guys, seeing the family camaraderie of it all, that's what racing is to me, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Well, I guess we all grow up when we have kids, we want our kids to be kind of interested in what we're interested in because we want to spend time with them, And I wondered for a long time because my boys didn't want to go to the shop. Zach's been at that shop since he was a baby, and he would always terrorize my stuff, over there drawing on or whatever. Wouldn't mess with his daddy's, but he'd mess with my stuff all the time. But my boys were different. I still have to make them go sometimes, I say, hey, we're going to the shop, and
Well, we have a different generation.
yeah,
I can't get Wyatt to help me wash a damn tire. You know what Wyatt says? I'm the driver. I do my part when we get to the racetrack. I said, yeah.
Junior sprint.
But you got to do your part here at the house, too.
yeah,
Chase.
But Rhett, as soon as I mention I'm going to the trailer, Rhett's out there to do it. And when Dad was, I found a lot of interest in it when Dad was going to Gerald Bishop's junkyard to get wheels and tires to race that night. Hell, I was in the truck before he was.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a different generation that we're growing up in. The kids have the cell phones, they have a game, they have so many other things to do than go out there and work on a car.
Yeah.
But in the long run of things, like me, at the age that I'm at now, I wish I'd have spent more time with Dad out there.
Yeah.
I'd give anything to go back and clean go-kart rims and stuff. You know, Dad be like, "You want to race? You're gonna have to work tires this week." When we were big into go-kart racing, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go in here and watch Rugrats." You know what I mean? Where now I'd give anything to be back out there in the shop, because the memories that could have been made would have been, and as they grow up, I think they'll.
We had a good friend of ours that he was well known out here, and his boy and Zach started about the same time. I mean, this man, they had about 3 or 4 late models, and he come up to me one day. He said, "I got to ask you." He said, "Does Zach work on his car?" I said, "Is he racing?" Yeah. I said, "He works on it then. I can't get my son to work on his." I don't think they're not out there no more, but I said, if he's my youngin', he's going to work on it.
Right.
We're going to help. But he ain't going to sit in the couch on the couch with me out there. No. I said, my daddy, he beat the tire,
We got a comment come in from Willie. There's my buddy Timmy from Willie. Old Willie Milligan there.
Hey, tell him I'd have won that race at Madison if Willie wouldn't have took me out of there.
I think we should get Willie to call in on that.
You always know who you're going to get into, who you're going to rub with that night, from where you park. We parked right there beside Willie that night, and I said,
never fails.
Yep.
I told him we weren't going to speak after the races.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, y'all parked on the back there. I said, something over there in that back section back there.
That's why we always try to park by ourselves.
Yeah.
How did you end up after Willie's birthday?
I fared all right.
I passed out when we got in the truck, son. No sooner than he turned the ignition, and I was wanting me some of them oysters bad. Soon as he turned the ignition in that thing, I was out like a light. I woke up at exit 58.
Well, you didn't miss the oysters, none, because they were tearing into them whenever before I left.
Daggone.
I said, y'all boys can have at it. Keith was over there just going just hard as he could go, son.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. Real good time. But so what's you guys' plans as far as this year?
Race as much as we can, I guess. We the way things are looking, might have to stay a little closer to home with fuel prices and stuff. But I think we're going to try to run as many of those races with Jim and you guys as much as we can. And I still got the Super, so the Dryden races and Lakeview, Fayetteville's got a few races. We'll go to Cherokee or some. Just as much as we can. And like I said, try to keep Chase and Clay racing as much as we can. And it's nice to stick around home and race, Yeah. So just whatever turns up, I guess.
So do you enjoy Saturday night racing, or do you enjoy this traveling stuff?
It depends. I told them when we went back super racing, I was really pumped up. I said, man, I finally can get me a good car. Bought a brand new Longhorn, got a Clements motor. I said, man, we can. We finally got it, and I was pumped up. And then we went to some of these races and didn't have the outings that we wanted, and so that kind of that 4-hour ride home ain't quite as good as that. If you run bad at home, you got 10 minutes, you're at home. So I don't know. I like the big shows, but
Have you ever had one of them quiet nights in the holler?
Oh yeah, that's
you finish. You went out there and you did all you could do, and it did not turn out for you. It was just one of those quiet ride homes, one of those awkward quiet ride homes.
Yeah, about the last 2 years with the super stuff, pretty much.
Dang.
Yeah, it makes it kind of brings you down.
You have a Percy Sledge CD and shit.
I'm saying, they told me that if we got you turned up down here, Timmy, we was gonna get some Percy Sledge tonight. Now, I mean, can we get one bar of it? Just
I don't
one.
drink, and I got a Pepsi.
One bar. Some Al Green.
I would, but I got to face a lot of these people.
I don't think I have. That made my day. I watched that. I wasn't Facebook stalking you guys, but I was going back looking through some stuff, and I saw that, and I was like, God, I hate I missed that party, because you were turning that one up, Bo. You was turning that one up now.
That's why we don't drink.
Yeah.
So can't get too wild.
Lane Tindall got me drunk one time, and that was enough.
Ooh.
I can't say I haven't been.
I've
had a good time. I've had a good time, and I've slowed down a lot in my older age. Like I said, when y'all come in, I was chugging down a BC powder just to make it through the rest of the afternoon. You know what I mean? We do all get a little bit older, and all that stuff. Is Willie gonna call in? Is he
I
gonna?
don't know. Timmy's called him out.
He'd have to get Crystal to dial the phone.
God, are you hearing this, Willie? I mean, I've got the
I told
volume
him how to do
button.
it. If she'll check the messenger, the number's there.
Willie said he signed Timmy up at the show up there for Timmy to be Rookie of the Year. So
Yeah,
the oldest rookie in history.
That's fine.
53 years old.
Come on.
so,
Sumter's race too now. Let's go ahead and go there and get some laps right quick.
Yeah, we got to put a throttle stop in there for something.
Yeah.
well, Zach said he's still got his throttle
Yep.
stop back. If y'all need it,
Yeah.
he can put it in there for you.
Yeah.
Out of one piece of steel about 3 foot long on that Fairmont.
Let's get back to Jimmy Ray. Is there any more cooler person in the world than Jimmy Ray? Let me tell you, Bo. We raced. I think it was last July, and we was getting ready to. White had ended up winning one, and Gary Jacobson said, "Rooster, make sure you get your watermelon before you leave." And I was like, "Watermelon?" Old Jimmy and Christy had brought watermelons for all the winners that day, and that was White's biggest trophy of the whole year. Watermelon. I mean, we bought them big checks and flags and just all kinds. But that watermelon, he won't never forget that. And Jimmy's and Christy you walk up the stairs at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, they're right there.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? They've been in racing a long time, and it just I can't say enough about. I dressed up like Jimmy Ray for Halloween a couple years back.
I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't love it as much as him. He
Is this who I think it is? Oh, turn it up.
All right.
There you go. Talk to me.
I don't know if we.
There you go. There you go. You on there now.
You there?
Yes, sir.
And Timmy called you out, Bo.
that flip phone ain't working.
Well, hey, Timmy can't call too many people right now. He's getting too old. His senior citizen card's going to give up with him.
Run down there and put some minutes on your phone so you can talk a little bit.
God.
that flip phone.
Zach said in the comments that Willie and Timmy make Team Geritol.
Yeah, well, we do. Both of us together, we do.
Yeah.
The Blackwells are just proud to say they know Willie Milligan.
Dang.
So is there any truth in you taking him out at 311?
What's that?
Is there any truth in you taking him out at 311? Timmy says he'd have won that race if you not took him out at 311.
Man, let me tell you, I ain't never been hit so hard in all my life. I thought Porky ran into me down the front straightaway.
Oh man.
I'll tell you, I remember Timmy just give up and was lighting a cigarette or what, but he run over me pretty good.
He had run about 4 laps straight. Hell, I was out of oxygen.
Yeah. Them straightaways is dark and long.
He said that's why he went off the back at Sumter. He was lighting a cigarette going down the back and he disappeared.
Yeah.
He did. I didn't know he went on the racetrack for about 4 laps.
We didn't either. That was the problem.
I heard Duke boys play when it went off.
Now, Timmy's all right. He's a pretty good cat to race with when he ain't driving.
So he's good to talk racing with, not race with, huh?
Yeah, nah, Timmy, I'll tell you what, if anybody like to race with old Timmy, me and him, we're getting too old for this shit, so we got to work together.
They keep bringing
We're going to have to gang up on all these young guys.
He said he tried to sign up for Rookie of the Year, but
Jim told me I couldn't up there at Hickory.
They ought to give him Rookie of the Year, or Senior of the Year, or something.
Senior citizen discount going in there. I went back.
Wait a minute. Here's what Timmy told me. Hell, he got to get his crew wanting to race all the time before he ought to be Rookie of the Year.
God.
Timmy's the only one that he says we don't want to race, but we'll go out there in the shop and we get going working on something, and you look up, he's like the mystery man or something. You see him walking up there towards the porch. I said, where the hell's he going? I said, he's going back in the house. I said,
He got to take his nap.
man, and then if the phone rings, it's done.
Oh,
He'll sit down beside in the door opening there, and sit there on that phone. We'll shut the doors, close the lights, everything. He's still sitting right there. He ain't done nothing all night long.
How many times you seen them at my house, Willie? They ain't there when you've been there.
Well, every time I've been there, I haven't seen nobody. I will agree with that.
It's deer hunting time. You can forget them boys.
Yeah.
Oh, it was deer hunting time, yeah.
That was off season.
That's right. Y'all running dogs that night.
That's right. Yeah.
Willie got that thing ready coming up March 19th. You gonna be down at Halifax?
Well, we're going to be there. That's the best I can tell you. We're gonna be there just like everybody else and try to see what we got. But I hope we do good.
This show ain't about you, Willie.
No, but the whole thing of it is, Tim, is look. The whole thing of it is, I'm trying to get you boosted up where you can get if you're excited and get that respirator going. Let's go, bro. Let's go. No smoking this week. We gotta go.
He's put him a helmet blower on there.
Jason Fitzgerald bought.
Well, that's just a boat of smoke in there. That's all that is.
Well, shoot, he's ready to go then.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out he can light a pack of cigarettes and stick them down in that can and see if it's smoke in there.
Yes, sir. He would be ready right there for sure.
My dad's the same way, but he'd be out there in the shop and he'll light one. He'll have to have one there directly before he even gets finished with it. I said, Dad, you ain't even done with that one yet, babe.
Well, you can't let it run out. You know?
Chris allowed to start by the end of the year. We went down there Lakeview the other night and tested, let the Chase run his car. Chris, I can't watch him. I said, well, you throw Zach out there and didn't worry about him. I think I'm at set trouble. He races. He'll be over there smoking or drinking or something.
Yeah,
Chasing.
might do something.
How awesome was that, Willie, to look across there and see young Blackwell on the track?
Oh, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. Hey, somebody's got to take up the Blackwell name because that really wants to race. Zach's probably one of the hellest drivers I've ever seen. And I don't know what the hell Zach's going to drive this week. I mean, I went from RC cars to U cars to, hell, he's been everything. He drove more stuff than I have.
He was an enduro professional there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Car builder, too.
Car on.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got to at least get one of Chris's boys, too. One of them's got to stick with it so we can have somebody to talk about when we're in the stands and me and Timmy get older.
Yeah, we can't figure out what Zach wants to do.
Yeah, no, we don't. Nobody knows what Zach wants to do. And he talks about me and Timmy having Jared talk. Hell, he don't even know what decision he's going with this week.
Yeah, that's what Chase told Zach. He said, just give me 3 races and I will be ahead of you. He said, how you figure? He said, well, hell, 3 races, you'll quit.
Well, I'm putting my money on Chase, I can tell you that. I'm putting my money on him.
Zach said he's got a U-car for Rockfish ready to go.
Yeah.
He going back to U-car next weekend.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hell, he runs super one week and be at a U-car next week. We don't know what he's driving.
You can't mess with that
That
money,
that's the driver's skill, Bo. That's the
When it
thing.
gets real serious, he's done with it. If he just get out there in the yard and play around, he'd be there all day long. But when I said, shit, I like going to them big races. You know, that's where it's at. You know,
go down and get your ass kicked a couple times. You know, ain't nothing fun. You know, whatever.
That's it. So I don't know. Good old Zach.
What's so bad? Me and Chris has begged him. We both quit and let him drive. You know, but heck. Then finally I woke up. I said, hell, I ain't quit. If he gets serious about it, but
You ain't quitting. No time soon, anyway.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Different times.
Well, all right, Willie. We'll let you get back to bed. I know it's getting late on you.
Yeah, get your ass to work.
Yeah, so I'm still working on race cars. Hey, look, y'all just do me a favor and tell Timmy don't talk to me this next week when he comes up. Because every time he walks over and talks to me, he runs into me. So I'm trying to stay away from him.
Well, he said he might park his truck next to you. How about that?
Yeah, we ain't parking together neither.
Well, hell, we ain't got far to go to beat the damage out on both of them. Well, y'all have a good night, and
You too, buddy.
we'll see y'all later.
We appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
buddy. Take care, Willie.
All right, buddy. Bye.
See you.
That's a fun one to be around right there too, Bo. I enjoy the way he pumps the youngins up. Him and Crystal both. You know, they've been around racing a long time. Hell, we all played together. Me and you,
Yeah.
Crystal,
Yeah.
and all of us back in the day, and you know, to see everybody still growing up in racing, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
You know,
hard to get away from it.
It is, you know, and see, I have to bring up the name Steve Odom. That man, I'm tell you what, Felicia, your mama loved her Steve Odom, so still does.
Yep.
And we did Good Old Days of Dirt family picnic. It's been a couple years back because it's COVID mess or whatnot. But son, I'm gonna tell you what, Miss Felicia Collins lit up Swan. Let me throw that Felicia Collins Swan lit up when Steve Odom fell in there. And you know what was cool about that is so Steve and Ronald Reynolds and all them they tried to take each other out every weekend, son. It was either get the flag or tear his car all to hell. One of the two. And Steve usually didn't come back with something not tore off of it, because if anybody in this world was going to send it, it was Steve Odom. You know, but to see those guys arm in arm in pictures, man, that's what that made the whole, you know, good old days of dirt thing.
Yep.
But Steve's been a pioneer of this sport for a while.
That's what people don't understand that's not around it. You know, I seen an article on there, Jess Taylor from Lumberton. I was run across it by accident. He said what people don't realize, he can go, you know, about anywhere in the country and break down.
Yeah.
He said, I can pull my phone out. He said, within an hour or two, somebody I've met in racing will be there to help me.
Yep.
I got to think about it. I mean, you think of all the people we all know, and unless you're in it, people don't understand it. You know, they think we're all out there getting drunk and just, you know, and once you get somebody out there, they're like, man, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
This is what y'all do.
I think it was Richard or somebody. His motorhome burned up at East Bay or Volusia, one or two, and the next day they had raised like $14,000.
Yeah.
The word traveled fast or whatever, man, and that was just awesome. And you know, and he was humble about it. He was like, man, this is unreal at $14,000. And there was a couple other things. The girl with Carpenter at the Dome was raising money where it was like $20,000-$30,000. The racing community is huge, dude.
Yeah.
That was Ryan had posted something about a guy that tore his car all to pieces up at Bristol. One of the many.
Yeah.
They got tore up at Bristol.
Brutal.
But their GoFundMe page just took off, and it's kind of like this, man. It's what I got in my trailer, you got too. If you need it, we're gonna get it, and we're gonna make it happen. And you're right, Timmy. A lot of people don't understand the racing community, what it is, and we might get aggravated with each other. We might get upset and spit some words, but give the little cool down time. We back over there, man. You know, I really didn't mean what I said, but you know, I don't appreciate you tearing my shit up. But you know, what I said wasn't exactly what I meant at the time.
Right. Like you
know.
said, me and Chris, when we got that first red hauler, we took it to rental, you know, to get some tires and all put on it. And Chris don't really, I don't know if he remembers them days, but I do with Robert and Reynolds and all of them. And
we were too busy chasing Crystal.
Yeah. Well, I was too busy chasing cars, and we go in there, and I'm like, darn, I hope Reynolds don't know who I am, you know.
You didn't hear that, Willie.
And we got to talking, and shoot, next thing you know, his daughter and his wife and all there wanting to see in the truck and trailer. But, man, Reynolds, you know, they forgot about all them problems and fighting all the back in the day, you know, but it was just, as me as a young guy, I was like, I wonder if he still remembers all this stuff, you know. But it was pretty cool. I mean,
you can't. I can't even get it out of my mind, Bo. Looking up there and all them yellow fluorescent lights on the concession stand, I can see all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And remember when Dublin had the string light bulbs across there?
Yeah.
And they would flash the light bulbs off and on. Like I remember all that. Big John and Mike Parker, and I mean, I grew up over there at Tonsi's Mopheads with Big John and all them. Just the memories you can't get away from them, man. And they're worth a lot, you know, to me. And to see our boys now racing with each other, and like I stated earlier, we raced slot cars together, we raced go karts together, you know, and we moved, you know, growed up, and now you're married to Renee.
Yep.
And for those of y'all that are watching the show, I don't know what to do with my hands, but for those of y'all that are watching the show, Renee is Jerry Johnson and Miss Lisa Johnson's daughter.
That's
and
right.
it's pretty cool how it all works out, because I was named after her grandfather.
Really?
My dad was best friends with Nub.
Yep.
And so Robert come from Nub, and then Anthony come from her Uncle Anthony. So I'm named after their family, you know, and it all revolves around racing, how that works out.
Well, that's what I tell them, like with the kids, you know, I mean, you can't take your kids to the park or the ball field or whatever, or the mall or wherever people go nowadays, the movies, and turn them loose. But when I go to that racetrack, you know, everybody there knows my kids. I know y'all's, you know, kids, and you know, it's everybody watches out for them.
Yeah.
You know, if you see them doing something, you know, hey, that ain't right.
That ain't right.
You know,
they respect you.
Yeah, and you know, you ain't got to worry about them. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's hard to find these days. You know, and that's, like I said, we got an uncle that they grew up around racing, and he always told us, y'all boys need to quit spending your money on them race cars. You know, you need to save that money. And I said, you know, what for? I said, what else you going to do? You know, I said, there ain't. I don't care about going to the beach, and I mean, I like fishing and hunting and all that, but if I had to choose, if I had to just choose one thing, we're gonna be at the racetrack. So that's what we do.
And that all comes together. What you were talking about earlier, that is your beach house.
Yeah,
to go out there and throw down on the grill and hang out a little bit, stay overnight at the racetrack or whatever. And I'm the same way, man. Same way. But I did want to give you guys something. We're going to pass this across the table. And big shout out to Renee and Clay and the whole Blackwell family. 'Cause if anybody has worked hard on a photo contest, it was y'all. I mean, if your hand
it was
over to
Renee.
them, yeah.
Don't get Mama involved.
But we had a photo contest from Shine Runners that was sponsored by the North Carolina Nightmare and Old South Apparel, and they posted the photo of Clay's first win, I believe it
that
was.
His first win.
And man, it was fun because let me tell you, Ricky Chavez was working hard, son. It was 84, 85, and then you'd see Renee must have got a cigarette break or something and went on there because it'd be 112, and then it'd be 111. That was the biggest fight I've
Don't
ever
mess
seen.
with Mama Bear now.
They peer kicked him off of there. He was like, "I got banned. Y'all banned me or something like that." He ain't done nothing, cuz.
Yeah, he got pure banned for tagging people.
Spamming.
Yeah. About like the Vietnamese dude that AJ is now. We got Nick White said, let's see here. Nick is
Got
an
Mark Sutton on there too.
Oh yeah, he said he enjoyed racing with you back in the junior late model days.
Oh yeah, junior late model.
late model. I remember that.
Mark's tough.
Yep.
And then Nick White said, I miss the memories of watching and helping my dad and hearing the announcer always pumping the crowd up. That's
Yes.
if you walk up there in Fayetteville Motor Speedway in the VIP tower, we put a lot of cool stuff up there. We got Ellis Ward's racing suit, my daddy's racing suit. We got Danny Parker's racing suit, a bunch of the booklets that Keith Smith had made. Mm-hmm. And there's none of that stuff going on nowadays. And Keith was telling us about how photography started back in those days. They asked him, say, hey, take some pictures of some of these cars and put them in the concession stand. And then whenever, because there's folks out there y'all don't even know but are fans of the Blackwell brothers. And you made a comment, y'all must be getting, real desperate to get us in here. Man, I hear y'all's name all the time. You know what I'm saying? And
We apologize for that.
and I hear a lot of the older fellas' names, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not calling y'all older fellas, but a lot of the folks who raced back in the good old days of dirt.
Right, yeah.
And so that was pretty cool to hear Keith say, there are people buying Carl Smith photos and stuff like that. And
You hit something. I've always picked at Keith about. I got so many little pictures at home. Mike and Billy Shaw and Ricky, Frank Avert, Ellis Ward. Mama, we'd have to go to the bleachers back then because women weren't allowed in the pits. At the old Fayetteville Speedway or the graveyard. Half people don't know. But Keith would always have this big bulletin board. And you'd go out there and buy a picture for $1 or 50 cents. And it'd be Earl Arnold.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them old pictures.
And every week she had to buy me a picture.
yeah,
And, I went over there one day to Keith's and he was messing with me like a trivia thing, But last time I talked, I said, man, like the kids, they go down to Rockfish, see, Wyatt's picture there.
yeah,
They want it.
yeah,
Well, me might not think nothing about it. The little boy comes up there. I know you do the hero cards,
yeah.
but they got to come to the trailer where a fan has went to the stands, got tired of waiting, went home.
Yeah.
But I was told, they had to pay to do that.
Well, it's one
Well,
thing.
I say it all the time. These youngins, because I was a Jimmy Ray fan. I was scared to death of Strolling Rolling. You remember Strolling Rolling?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but God, I was scared to
He was a big old
death.
fella.
That dude was huge, and I don't know, he just scared the shit out of me, man, when I was a kid. But I was always a fan of Jimmy Ray. I was always a fan of Jerry. And as a matter of fact, Jerry Johnson started outside pole in his first race. My daddy started on the pole. They raced all the way to the last lap, and Daddy ran out of gas. Jerry passed him and won the race. And but and I'm not saying that they didn't, but if those older drivers would have took a second to come in the grandstands and said something to me, man, that'd have meant the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these youngins look up to you guys, and and I say this about Willie. as you see Willie doing a lot of times, they'll take pictures. I've seen him start cussing, son, mad to death. Youngin walk up, he took time from working on the car and cussing to take that photo with that kid. And then when the kid walked away, he turned right back around and went back to cussing and working on the race car. But it means a lot to these youngins by doing that, you know.
You're talking about that when I was a kid, you know, we'd go out to Old Fellow Speedway again and Gene register on Carolina Body Shop car. That was my dream of driving that car one day, you know. But I'd go down there and Richard Bostick was driving it a few times. You know, he was a NASCAR team and fuel man for Kyle Petty, all that, man. He'd bring me stickers back. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. You know, I'd get to go down there and hang out with the bread van for a little bit, and Ellis, and that's how I got to knowing all them guys.
Yeah.
And like you said, my dad and my uncle's first race car that came from Hank. I get off the school bus one day, and there's Hank and Porky standing in the yard, and I thought, you know, good God, there's Dale Earnhardt and them down here.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah. You see, and we do that too, and I'm going to throw a plug in there for Gen 3 Performance Imaging. If you're looking for hero cars, make sure you get up with Joseph Swan. He can help you out. We have gained a lot of growth through racing by doing those, and it's funny how it worked out. When we were racing for Copart gave us a backpack. We went up in the grandstands, and White gave out 10 hero cars, and they had the number on the back of them, 1 through 10, so how many cars was in the field that night. Wherever he finished, that person won. Say if he finished 5th, whoever had the car with number 5 on it won that backpack. I heard that name about 20 times, son. Now, they pay thousands of dollars to have them billboards down on the front straightaway, and I heard his name probably 20 times. I said, man, that's a good marketing tool right there. But that little lady, it was actually Richard Slappy. His daughter won that book bag, and that youngin was all kind of happy about that.
Everybody wants something for free.
Yeah, they were happy about that. She had that winning number, you know what I mean? And he actually ended up winning the race that night, so number 1 was the one that won the book bag, so that was pretty cool how all that worked out. But those hero cars go a long way.
Well, I've got a bunch. Our uncle used to take us to Rockingham, you know, when they had the races back in, I guess, the 80s. You know, I was a kid then. And they would had old school bus, you know, they had made into a camper.
Oh, yeah. Earl had one, but old Flop had one.
Yeah. And so we'd run up, we'd see somebody with a Coors hat or, you know, Havoline or something. We'd run up, you got any hats or hero? They give them hero, and I've still got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You know, that was the big deal, you know.
Yeah. We got a belt off that Christine car. I took the kids up to Glot. And I'm not huge into the whole asphalt drag racing and all that stuff, but I'm going to tell you what, if you want to have an experience, go to Glot. That is an awesome place, man. I mean, and they got that joker set up too. You can actually sit in the restaurant and watch the racing going on at the thing. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time down there.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff, man. But we're working on that hour. Man, you got anything else? I know wanted to definitely kick in on some things that are coming up before we do get out of here tonight. March 19th's huge. Well, this weekend, let me go back to this weekend. Everything got pretty much notched out due to Mother Nature. The Carolina Sprint Tour that was down at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, it got canceled. The goat race at Triple T got canceled. But I do want to say that at Low Country Karting, Terry Odom, and that Reaper tire. Have you seen the new Reaper tire they're pushing?
I hadn't seen the Reaper tire, but I've kind of read some of the soap opera about it.
Yeah, that HBM Reaper tire they got down there. They got a showdown on Friday night. It's free entry, $1,000 to win down at Low Country. So you get a chance, go down there to Low Country. They're going to be racing some go-karts. And then on the 19th, opens up a whole can of worms down there, man. They got in Halifax, you got the Deuces Wild Tour for the Steel Block Bandits, Mark Batt Memorial. Lakeview's got an open practice, a safety inspection, and a car show going on down there. Rockfish fires off the first of the season. You guys going to be at Rockfish on the 19th, or y'all going up to the Steel Block Bandits?
I think we're going to Halifax, yeah.
Awesome. But a lot of cool stuff, man, kicking off, here in the next week or so. Racing season is in full swing.
I guess it's time to get started, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather will straighten out, warm up a little bit.
Yeah, God, it's been crazy.
I couldn't handle too much of this next weekend.
No.
And I hope the gas price thing, man, kind of, that's going to deter a lot on racing. Is a lot of out of pocket, so to say, racers. It's tough, man. It's really tough, and
It's going to keep people closer to
this
home.
tire deal and everything else. I think it's going to bring back Saturday night racing too. To be honest with you,
That's one thing. The series are great. I was thinking about that, and we've seen it all. But really, the series and stuff have taken away from that a little bit. Like I said, you knew on Saturday night you could go to a certain track and you knew what classes were there. You know what drivers
was going to be there.
Yeah. And but everybody, I guess, chase that dream of traveling and all that. And it's great to go somewhere new and win a race and all that. But, like I said, when it boils down, it's pretty nice to be right here at home too, racing.
Sorry, I was chugging my ham. Goodyear All-American Speedway is racing Sunday, March 13th at 3 p.m. for you asphalt fans. Want to send one out, a little Fireball in that Bandolera. He found a 4th place finish last weekend.
He's got a backup car now, I seen.
He does. They're getting big into it. Cecil tried, son. He's like, come on, Bo, come on to asphalt. And I was like, nah, I bleed clay, Bo. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. That's the most addicting drug you can ever get a hold of, that damn red clay. Mm-hmm. If you ever get it in your veins, you might leave it for a little bit, but you're coming back. Daddy made the comment, been a while back. He was like, I'm done with this mess. 3 sprint cars later and 5 go-karts running at one time later. Yeah, we still back in it. You can't ever get out of it. You really can't.
Everybody you know everybody out there, and it's just, like I said, it's where you want to be.
Yeah. We got, one thing, we got to give this thing away before we get off of here.
Yeah, let's do it.
I have got this, and I promised Raging Rooster Catering that we were going to give this thing away right here. This is some Raging Rooster Catering all-purpose seasoning. You can put it on anything you want, guaranteed perfect outcome every time. First person, what's your phone number?
910-973-5590.
If you can call in and tell us the numbers of these two guys right here across from us, it's legendary. It's been the same number since.
Those two, right there. Those two right there. What are their numbers?
Yeah, it's a legendary number. It's been the same number since Moby Dick was a tadpole. If you can call in and give us those two numbers of these two guys right here, don't say it on the screen. You got to call in to make it happen. Legendary number. It's been the same number since Moby Dick was a tadpole.
Hold on.
If you can call.
Hold on.
I got this knob over here, bro.
Well,
What's his name? Ming Shu Fu?
Ming Shu.
Ming Shu. Ronnie, you got to call in, bro.
Yeah, he don't listen.
Yeah.
He don't count.
Yeah, he don't count. He's on the crew. That's our cousin.
Ronnie kind of come in with a little premature acceleration.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
He's on house.
All right, who we got calling here?
Yes, I'm calling in with the 2 numbers.
All right.
All right, what's the number?
Hello?
Hey, I'm with you. What's their numbers?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
What 2 numbers?
6 and 17.
You're right. Who we got on the line?
This is Amy and Ricky Chavis.
Amy and Ricky Chavis. All right. Congratulations. You have won yourself a bottle of Rooster's all-purpose seasoning. Great with chicken, beef, pork, shrimp,
We love
mashed
it.
potatoes. You can even pour it on your beer rim. It don't matter. It's good stuff. But thank you, and I'll get this to you. I'm sure I'll see you guys
All right.
here shortly.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, doll.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
That is, one thing too, and I keep saying one more thing, man. We're gonna get out of here by 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Why blue and orange, and why 6 and 17?
Well, the number, I stole Timmy's number. Timmy was always number 6, and
Everybody knows. Well, my Uncle Tarzan bought a car from Hank. Really, the 6 came from Hank because it was still on the car. They ran it. Then when Steve started, he took the 6.
Yeah.
So obviously when I started, I took it. Then when we couldn't afford to race, I drove for Mitchell Granger in late model. We bought him a car. He put the 6 on it. Kind of stole it from me. So then when I bought my own car again, we come up with a 17 because he already took my number.
Which is the same guy that does the vintage car, right? Ain't that the same guy?
Yeah,
The
Mitchell.
Granger? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He used to run late mall. Me and him won a ton of races at Lakeview down there in Fayetteville. And he gave me a ride when I couldn't afford to get in the gate. You know, we hadn't started our business, and Zach was just born, and he called one day, and it's one of them deals where you used to park beside each other and argue with them, you know. And he called, and I think I finished like third the first night with his car at Febble.
I don't know why the blue. We've always had blue cars.
Yeah,
Timmy and them, they always had blue and white. The first one was blue. Well, the first one was like blue and silver.
Seals Body Shop gave us the paint the first time.
Yeah, so it was, and then they had the blue and white, and then I was just a kid, and I said, man, blue and orange, you know, and they finally did his car in blue and orange, and you know.
When we had Zach on 3 years ago, Shine Runners, back in the day of Shine Runners, and we're like, what in the world, bro? You got a yellow car. That's like sacrilegious around the Blackwell camp.
Well, there again, he don't know what he wants to do. You know,
He said all kind of colors.
Yeah, he tells us. He said, "You do the same thing." I said, "Well, hey, when you get to our level, you know, Bloomquist he ain't got no pink car or whatever. You know, people know what his car is. You know, he's got a black car.
There for a while he had
Zach ain't got there yet.
There for a while he had the old Dream Weaver scheme going on. I said, "Come on, Bo."
Yeah.
Well, that 6 and 17 stuck around. I mean, you know, if it's local racing, 6, even if somebody else comes out there with 6 or 17, they'll say, "Yeah, that's Blackwell number." You know what I mean? It's just that's how it's been.
We tried to get it changed to Blackwell blue, so you know our own color, but we ain't got there. We ain't got there yet.
Miss Felicia said I wore my Chris Blackwell shirt to Eldora. It was the prettiest shirt there.
Yeah, there's some nice shirts.
I've been rocking.
Swanee hooked us up on that. So
rocking my
nice
Chris shirt tonight.
Yeah,
my son too. We got one for Rhett, and he loves that thing.
Yeah,
about 18 sizes too big, but he'll rock that joker in a minute.
Yeah, they turned out really good.
Swanee always does a good job on everything they do, and we greatly appreciate it. Anything else, guys, before we get ready to rock up out of here?
I could talk you to death. So
yeah,
I ain't lying. It's been the smoothest show I've been to in a long time.
Yeah,
it's just rolling through the punches of it, man.
Well, I'm like you. I like the older stuff and see where it's came from, and
yeah.
Well, we just like to, you know, our family sacrifice a lot. You know, our wives and you know, appreciate what they do, and our mom and you know, our dad always went out there with us, and you know, so we appreciate the family, you know, supporting everything and. It don't matter what it is at Rockfish, you know, the whole family was there, you know, just to see Clay practice, and you know, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, we're all there together. So appreciate that. That means a lot, you know. And so
sometimes they don't think they help out, but
it's all the way down. I mean, my mom, my favorite food is their dabbling sausage dogs wrapped up in aluminum foil, shoved back in the bag, and brownies. And folks don't realize, and I say this because I've had the opportunity to be the voice at a lot of different awards banquets, and what folks don't realize is everybody got here together. Yeah, just because White was in the car didn't mean that he did it on his own. It was my daddy working on it, and me, and Donnie, and Chris Ward, and my mama making hot dogs, and Bobby Jackson coming out to cook on the grill, and everybody worked together to make that happen, and that's the whole nine, what it's all about.
That's it. Yep.
Yep.
It takes a family deal. I mean, they're having drinks on Saturdays, put them in the refrigerator or the cooler, and cooling in the truck. Trailer's our problem, but it's a whole family thing, you know. We pick on them. Why don't y'all win? And I said, well, Brandon Overton, he ain't over there trying to light the grill for his mama. Yeah. You know, we're fixing to start hot laps.
So sometimes just bringing the car back in one piece is the win, and we've learned that too. You know, sometimes just getting back is the win.
Yeah,
that's what I try to keep telling myself. I'm world's worst too. I said, man, you forget. I say there's we're very fortunate.
Very.
I said, we're not rich, but we got a car for every class and everybody. You know, I said. But we leave with our heads hung down.
I do it all the time.
You know, beating ourselves up.
All the time.
I ain't out there because I want to ride.
Yeah.
I want to win.
You're never out there because you want to ride. But it is the truth when you really look back on it. Man, we're fortunate. How many folks in those stands? And then how many people that didn't come tonight because they didn't have the way to make it here that would love to just be here in the stands. So the folks in the stands are just as fortunate as the guys who own the race cars. Yeah. You know, and I'm big on the whole thing and just thanking God, you know, that we've got the opportunity to do what we do, the people behind us, and a family outside of the family, you know, that whole racing community family, just like we talked about tonight, couple times is that's the magical part of all this. You know what I mean? The cars, I posted the other day on my Facebook page, the cars are a small part of it. When you look across there and see them youngins playing football together and, whatnot, that's the magical part of it all. Really is.
That's what gets me, the people that judge you, us, whatever, and they don't know, what it takes. What your wife, your kids, whatever, sacrifice for us to do this.
Yeah.
They put up with a lot of stuff. I mean, we've roofed about everybody at the racetrack's houses to go racing. That's what our family did.
Yeah.
We went to Hickory and landscaped the decal man's house, for trade work. I mean, it's stuff you do just to get to that racetrack. And
Yeah.
people think you got it made or this or that and don't have, they don't know what you do to do it.
Who does y'all's decals? David Laura wanted to know.
Jimmy Shields with Dirt Rap. He's been doing them for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah. I think we were probably his first customer, actually. We knew him through Donald Anderson.
I talked to Donald right off.
Donald and Boots and all them guys.
Yeah.
Donald worked with Jimmy's dad, Dick Shields, over there at Travis Carter.
Yeah.
And so we got talking to Dick a little bit, and he would come down and race with the Clash and stuff.
Yeah, I remember him back in the day.
And so then Jimmy started the decal business, and like I said, we were probably one of the.
But back it up, we roofed Dick's house.
Yeah.
We traded for a
Yeah.
GRT chassis.
Yeah, for a chassis. Yeah, we didn't have the money to just go buy them, like you do now. But so it hasn't been easy,
And we got to give a shout out to the biggest sponsor, the Blackwell Racing Outfits. Got Blackwell Landscaping, man. Y'all got Blackwell Building and all kinds of stuff going on, right?
Well, we built a little bit. That's Chris mainly.
Yeah, we've built a few houses, but not we haven't done any in a while. But we got to have something to fill up the quarter pound, so we keep putting it on there. So.
What's the phone number? Anybody looking landscaping work, man? How can they get a hold of
Give
you?
him Timmy's cell phone number.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, the office number is 424-4272.
Wayne Parker said my daddy, Chris Blackwell.
Yeah, my buddy. Yeah,
My
Oh,
buddy.
yeah. Oh, Wayne,
I thought
yeah.
it said my daddy. My buddy. Damn.
me and Wayne grew up on the same dirt road. It was a dirt road.
Yeah.
Grew up together. Wayne's a good guy.
Yep. You got anything, bro?
I think we're done, buddy.
Y'all got anything else?
I guess
I'd
not.
like to thank y'all for having us.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you guys in here.
Appreciate it.
It's always an honor to be able to sit around the table and just you can always tell when you sit around and it just flows. You can just talk about it all night long.
Oh yeah,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, man, we want to thank y'all guys so much and ladies for tuning in. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I think next Monday, Fouled Out's going to be back in action. Bill, Chad, and AJ, if I'm not mistaken, if AJ can get away from Vietnam.
I think they got I'm not sure who they got. It might be Gordy maybe or somebody. They got somebody. One of the touring guys.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is.
So a big shout out to them. We're going to be coming back. We'll get you information. We've got a surprise guest that's going to be coming in on our next show. I don't actually know who it is, so I'm just throwing that out there just to get y'all a little damn, we got to make sure we're watching. So that'll be coming on for our next Shine Runners Racing Radio show. We'll let you know when that happens. I do want to send a big shout out before we get out of here to AJ Bellinger Motorsports. Don't go to that page because it is ran now by a Vietnamese comedian. However, the fun will keep around. Big shout out to Raging Rooster Caterings. Hams, we slamming hams and building programs right here at Shine Runners Racing Radio. Swanee, appreciate you, brother.
Buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.